Hello everybody, it's Shady here, and today I want to discuss something, mainly about Pokemon, and essentially, I really think in the next few years, with the new Nintendo hardware, the Pokemon company really need to step up their game for the next generations of Pokemon games. Yeah, because I don't know about you guys, but I really feel like, the Switch era of Pokemon has been very forgettable. I think about, every other console Nintendo handled has had some pretty amazing games. Like, these games are almost always the best games on the platform. Like, I think about the 3DS era was really good. Ended on a high with Sun and Moon. Yeah, and, the DS had like Black and White, which were amazing, and I just feel like, I think my biggest issue was, and it just felt like the games became way too casual, and I think, I think Nintendo just need to recognize now, or I guess the Pokemon company, sorry, I think they just need to recognize that, there's Pokemon fans that are a bit older. There's some of us who been playing since the first generation and still like the games. I think we want a bit more of a challenge. Like, I think, I've got a few ideas anyway, but basically I think, one thing they need to do is add a hard difficulty mode. I think the standard difficulty should just be beginner, for people who are new to the series, for like the young kids, and then you need to have an expert mode for people who have had experience with these games already. We don't want to have to sit through a bajillion tutorials all the time and have the games be so easy. I know that the point is to collect them all and everything, and to battle each other, but it'd be nice to just have a bit more of a challenge. To me anyway, it felt like the older games had that. I think about like some of the gym leaders in like Gen 2 and 3 and even like Gen 5, where you really had to think a bit, and you had to actually think about your party composition. Obviously in some of them you could just go through the game and just start her, but yeah, and I think obviously another thing is obviously performance, that needs to improve massively. I really feel like Sun and Moon, well, not Sun and Moon, sorry, Scarlet and Violet, conceptually were really cool. I like the open world, free to explore kind of way of doing things. I think that's moving forward, I think that's really awesome. That's what they should stick to. But yeah, performance has to be a lot better, because like those games were pretty badly optimized and just did not look very good. I think that's the main thing. The Switch games just didn't look great, and I think that needs to be addressed. Like, they didn't really look like a step up from the 3DS, and we know the hardware is much more capable. So whether it's a change of art direction entirely, or just a better engine or something, I think that's going to need to be changed. And obviously, I think there needs to be, I think they need to move these Pokemon forward, because obviously one of the big things, Sword and Shield, everyone was annoyed that they removed so many Pokemon, and they can't do that moving forward. Like, you have to make it work. Even if it's just with an expansion or something, or if you split them between the two games, you have to make it work. I think that's a pretty obvious thing. And obviously, I think, there was this kind of time where they were just making a game every year. That needs to stop. It used to be every 2 or 3 years, I think. Just release the 2 versions, and then you can do the 3rd version like you used to, or updated versions of both of them. And a year or so later, and then after that you can do the next one. That model always worked. Making it an annual thing was ridiculous. But yeah, obviously this year we got I think it's basically the sequel to Arceus, which I'm looking forward to seeing. It's going to be the final one for the Switch, so yeah, I hope they really just buck up their ideas and improve the series, make it what it should be, make it the must-own. Obviously, the game still fell well out, but there has to be a level of control or quality, and yeah, I think, you know, it's not acceptable. But yeah, anyway, that's all I really have to say. Yeah, have a great rest of your day.